Fear. And I said, you must make a difference. She said, yes, we do. I said, fantastic. And then I asked the principal, and she said, we haven't done all that we wanted to do. I didn't ask that. I said, have you made a difference? Have you guys made a difference? Today?
Yeah.
Yesterday? Are you going to make a difference tomorrow? Yes? Did you do it all right? No. Have I done it all right? No. Do I make mistakes every day? Yes. So then every day, tomorrow night, we sit down and we say, what did we learn? What are we grateful for? What are we going to implement tomorrow? At the end of every day with your students, do that. What did you learn? What are you grateful for? What are you going to implement tomorrow? What are you going to do different tomorrow? What did you learn? What are you grateful for? What are you going to implement tomorrow? Because if you do that, we're moving to love. Because love means I don't expect you to get it right today. I don't expect you to have memorized the entire textbook of what I'm saying from A to Z and to be able to regurgitate it. That's why I'm recording it. Because I want to see that I talk sense to you guys. I don't expect it. What do I expect? I expect you to want to be the best that you can be in God's will. Yes? That doesn't mean that you don't have any problems. I know I've got some problems, I've got some challenges, but I want you to be the best that you can be. And I want you to make sure that every kid, doesn't matter what his challenges are, he knows that he can be the best. Because what we learn is we're all born with 100% potential. And what they've shown by research is a lot of kids going into school have high IQs. And a lot of kids coming out of school have low IQs. Why? Something's being missed in the center. You with me? And so you must take those kids of potential, and all you have to do is just smack them on the backside, because that moves them forward. That moves their potential forward. So all you've got to do is move their potential forward from love, not fear. You're not going to be anything. That's fear. You're not going to be able to achieve that. That's fear. You will be able to do whatever you put your mind to, as long as you work your guts off on it. You with me? Who's ready to work their hardest? Who's ready to work their guts off? Any handful? Yes, sir!
Yes, sir!
I'm ready to go to work today. And anyone who doesn't want to go to work, just do 5 push-ups. Who wants to do 5 push-ups now? Anyone? No? Thought not. You got to go to work. Let's go to work.
Yes, sir!
The good news, it's my practice minute said yes, sir. Alright, so part of this, we spoke about the emotions. You with me? So the next thing is called the reticular activating system. Reticular activating system. Don't worry about these complicated words, but basically it sits there as the alternator. Everyone knows what a car is. There's the alternator of the car. If you spin the wheels of the car, the alternator is charged. The alternator then charges the engine and the battery, and it keeps the car going. You with me? If you didn't have an alternator, every time you stop the car and turn the car off, you'd have to it back alive again. You with me? So some of the kids, unfortunately, their alternator's not working because they're like this. And the worst thing is, we want to go medicate kids so they are like this. You with me? I'd rather have a kid that's full of energy that you can just calm down. You with me? Who would like to have taught me? Can you see this energy? This is what I had at school, and they told me to sit down and shut up and keep quiet. You with me? It doesn't work. So the alternator has to be buzzing, and you'll see on there, it says, the alternator is driven by, hang on a second, I said that word just now, proprioception. Did I not say that word? Proprioception? The alternator of the brain is driven by the kid's internal stability. Is he happy with who he is? Have you shown him love and gratitude today? Because if you're not showing a kid love and gratitude, he's not going to have internal stability. It's also driven by posture. Remember what I said? Everyone stand up again. Everyone stand up again, please. Yes, sir. It's driven by that posture. So at the beginning of every day, just make every single one of your kids stand up straight. You with me? You just find a wall or something to stand against. Nice and tall. And if anyone doesn't want to stand up, get off your lazy backsides. There's not the brain is here. So when you sit on your backside, then it squashes out. You with me? Okay, you can sit down again. So it's driven by posture, by balance, and by sensory information. So I walked into one of the classrooms now, and what a beautiful classroom. beautiful pictures and colours and different stuff. Sensory information. But you've got to realise some of the kids that you're seeing, they can't process all the sensory information. Yes? So you've got to be clever. Put some kids at the front, some kids at the back. Some kids with the blinkers on so they can focus, and other kids wide up. You with me? I've got to see all these different people in order for my brain to go, alright, I know all these people are here, I can now focus. Some people need that. And so that's what your job is the teachers, to realise what gives that kid his internal stability. What gives you your internal stability? What gives you that internal stability? You with me? Everyone's a little different. Everyone's a little different. We all need love, no doubt. But some people's understanding of love. So you've got to find what makes that kid tick. And it doesn't take long. It really doesn't take long. All you've got to do is just sit with the kid and just say, hey, when last were you happy and what made you happy? You with me? When last were you happy and what made you happy? Because you'll see what the kid says. Hey, yes, when I play that football, hey, I'm loving life. Fantastic. Let the kid run around with his football for 5 minutes, and then he sits down for half an hour. And then he goes and runs around for 5 minutes, and then he goes and sits down. It's nice and simple. You with me? There's no kid in the world who has 100% potential and hasn't been stifled in his 100% potential that doesn't want to be the best that he can. Every kid that I ever get to meet, I say, do you want to be the best that you can or not? And guess what his answer is? Yes, please. Yes, please. So all you're going to do is show him how. Show him how. And do you know the cool thing about being a doctor? It's now rubbed out. Being a doctor comes from the Latin word docere, which means to teach. So my job's to teach. Your job's to teach. What are we here to teach? We're here to teach those people in our world that are going to rule our world later on to be the best that they can be, so that our world can be the best that can be. Everyone say amen to that? Amen. Yes, sir! Yes. There's one more part of the brain, and it's called the screen of consciousness, the thalamus. The screen of consciousness. So basically, you have all this stuff sitting in the brain. All this stuff. So right now, you guys are thinking complicated stuff, and the stuff is talking around in your brain. You're thinking, maybe this guy's crazy, maybe he's not, maybe he's on medication, maybe he's not. There's all this conflicting information. The two guys that are talking to you at every given stage. You with me? That's the stuff that's floating in the brain. And it either holds a positive charge, or it holds a negative charge. And at some point, this will come and drop down and land on the screen of consciousness. And that's what you're conscious of. So are you conscious of positive things? Or are you conscious of negative things? Are you conscious of the love stuff? Or are you conscious of the fear stuff? Because realize, whatever you're seeing every single day, and only you can make the judgment. I have people come to me, yeah, I'm a happy person. Oh, really? Not what you're telling me. The words that you say, the way you carry yourself. Those people didn't want to stand up. Are they positive? No. Those people that don't want to say yes, sir. Who cares if you say yes, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Those that are sitting there going, yes. How much twack are you talking to yourself? Yes. It's called twack. It's rubbish. It's all this negative stuff. Are you going to conquer this world with twack and negative stuff? No. You might as well leave. Who wants to leave now? Anyone? Anyone wants to leave? Any options? No. Going once? Going twice? Yes, sir, we all here. Fantastic. So what you want to do is you want to start recognizing more of the positive stuff. More of the positive stuff. Start looking for the good, not the bad. Yes? You can look at the negatives. You can tell me all day long about the negatives. Your choice, I don't mind. But guess what? I look for the positives. And if I don't find the positives, what do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. You with me? So you got to find the positives. You got to find that silver lining. There's every single kid in your class has got that potential. Every single one of them. All they need you to do is just say, I love you and I appreciate you and I want to know what's good for you. That's the silver lining. I'm sure you all can think of the worst kid in your class, yes? The one that causes disruptions and chaos and that kind of stuff. That's the one that you need to love the most. Yes? That's the one that you've got to stop shouting at and start talking to. You with me? You've got to recognize the positive stuff in him. Because unfortunately, he's disruptive because he's never found his stability. He's never found his stability. And that makes me unbelievably sad that there are kids in this world that should have nothing but 100% potential and 100% actuality, that have never found their stability. And I was one of those kids. I was 16 years old and I knew that I was failing. And I lay awake the whole night and it was just ticking. Failure. Chiropractic. Failure. Chiropractic. What's this word? Chiropractic. Failure. Chiropractic. Holy smokes! I want to be a chiropractor. And I was so grateful for my mom. She said, yes, if you want to do it, we can do it. We're going to have to graft our backs off, but we're going to do it. I did standard 9 and matric, correspondence on my own. I taught it myself and I got better results because I wanted it. I was willing to recognize the positive about me, what I'm good at, where's my stability. Find the stability in your kids and you'll get there. That's the foundation. Everyone wants to teach them at the peak. Everyone wants to get to here. You're not going to get there until you got here. You with me? Don't get complicated. Just go here. Give them touch, give them balance, give them internal stability. You're going to do a good job. Everyone with me? Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Yes, sir. Fantastic. Alright. So we're going to talk about this body now. I've only got one colour pen, I apologize. That's okay. One colour is going to be good. So the body has two sides of it. It's got the autonomic nervous system. It's got the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. Kinds of complicated, but it's okay. So there's two halves. And in Chinese medicine they talk about the yin and the yang. Everyone seen the yin and yang? This is colour and this is colour. The yin and yang is the two halves. Remember, there's two halves, love and fear. So if you're in fear the whole time, guess what the kid's going to do? The kid's only going to do one of three things. It's what the body's directed from the brain to do. It wants to beat someone up, it wants to run away, or it wants to sit. You with me? And I'm sure in your class, you know some kids that are wanting to beat another kid up. You with me? Yes? And you want, I know a kid, that's why the mum came to see me. The kid, every time the teacher even raises her voice to the kid's out the class. Who's got that in their class? Kid runs away. Yes? Fantastic. Guess what? They're in the fear, driving into the body, into the stressed out system. That's the dictation from the brain to the body. They can't control it. They don't have the instability, internal stability. Of course they can't control it. And you go and stress them out even further. You with me? You don't want to stress a kid out because he's going to want to beat someone up, he's going to want to run away, or he gets lanky emotional and starts to cry. And these are the kids that unfortunately, they need the stability. These are the kids that are going to be something in this world. When that teacher sat in front of me and said, she didn't say Dr. Chubbs, I want to beat her now, so she can say Dr. Chubbs. But that teacher, when she sat in front of me, she said, no, you can't achieve. Did she know that I was going to speak to this many teachers? No? Who's there to limit you? Who's there to limit you? Only yourself. The twat that you talk about, that fear stuff that you drive, that you're conscious of 24/7, that stresses you out, that's your limitation. I needed a couple of people to say, no, you can achieve. And those are the kids in your class. Yeah, go. Who's that? Nabila. Ah, this is the worst. Papi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we're looking at is making sure that every kid in your class, from the time he walks in to the time he leaves, don't stress him out. Make sure he's aware